At first, it seemed impossible. How could Freya ever forgive Kratos, the man who killed her only son? Her grief was immeasurable, her rage all-consuming. But over time, through pain, reflection, and growth, she began to change. And with that change came clarity. Yes, Kratos killed Baldur, but it wasn't out of malice. It wasn't out of vengeance. He did it to stop Baldur from killing her, to protect Freya from a death at the hands of her own child. That realization opened the door. But it wasn't the only reason she began to forgive him. Because deep down, Freya knew Baldur's death wasn't just Kratos' doing. It was hers. She was the one who cursed Baldur with invulnerability, robbing him of the ability to feel anything. She had done it out of love, paid to protect him from harm. But in doing so, she doomed him to a life without touch, sensation, or joy. And it broke him. Baldur's pain, his descent into madness, it all started with that curse. And by the end, it wasn't Kratos who destroyed her son. It was the chain reaction of her own choices. That guilt, as heavy as her grief, slowly forced her to confront a hard truth. She had been blaming Kratos to avoid facing herself. But then there was something else. Something she saw as she journeyed with him again. Kratos had changed. He wasn't the same god who once destroyed entire pantheons in blind fury. He wasn't the monster she thought he was. He was a father, a protector, a man who carried the weight of every life he'd ever taken and desperately wanted to be better. She saw it in the way he spoke to Atreus, in how he tried to guide him, not control him, in the patience he showed, the restraint, the growth. And Freya too had been changed by grief. She understood what it meant to carry loss, to be defined by it, or to rise above it. That shared pain became a bond. Revenge no longer gave her purpose, only kept her stuck. But standing against Odin, protecting the realms, that gave her something to fight for. She realized that vengeance would never bring Baldur back, and it would never heal the wound left behind. So when she tells Kratos, "I can't forgive you, not for this, but I want to," it's not just a moment of mercy. It's the first step toward healing, not just for her, but for both of them. And in a world ruled by gods and war, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is try to forgive. If you want to see the emotional weight of their story brought to life, I actually put together a cinematic video that dives into the end of Freya and Kratos' friendship and the powerful conversation they have that ultimately leads to her forgiveness. It captures their pain, their history, and that moment of vulnerability that changes everything. So if you're interested in seeing that journey in full, stick around and check it out. Trust me, it hits different when you see it play out.